Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 29 of my Feed the Beast Let's Play. You can see I'm in my bee room and I've dug out some space beneath and behind my beehives. Or apiaries as they are called. The reason I've done this is that I want to automate them finally, because I've had to manually run in here and do all that bee stuff, taking the princess and drones out and putting them back in and all that stuff, and I just don't want to do it anymore. Also, it just takes up time and I've got to do it way too often, so I'm going to automate it. And as you can see by the contents of my inventory, I'm going to use red power. The reason is that these apiaries pipes that are normally used are way too expensive. So, and I've only got 12 propellers, but I need 2 for each pipe, so I need 16 total, which is why I'm going to use red power machines. I'm going to use sorting machines to pull out, and filters and restriction tubes and all that nice, and all these nice things to make sure the bees go where they should. Now, I'd like to mention that I've actually recorded this nearly a week ago. It is Sunday, 3 p.m. CEST at the time of this commentary, but I've recorded this on Monday mostly. The reason is that, again, my sound screwed up, so nothing got recorded because, well, I've had this problem a few times already, and it seems to happen occasionally and mostly when my computer crashes for some reason. I can't remember it crashing since the last recording, but apparently it did, or something else screwed up, I don't know. Because basically what happens is that the recording device that I'm recording from gets set to the front microphone and nothing's plugged in there. So I'm going to reclaim these cover strips as covers and put down some tubes, because one important thing is that I do not mix adjacent apiaries, like the piping for them. I must avoid mixing them, because otherwise what will happen is that, well, it'll get mixed up, because the tubes don't care. It could just go willy-nilly all over the place, and I don't want that to happen, which is why I'm separating the tubes here. And this water flow is slightly annoying, but I'm just going to deal with it because, well, it'll be alright. And yeah, I'll have a tube in the way anyway now. So first I'm just placing down the tube that's going to lead back, up, and then forward again, because I need filters there to make sure it doesn't try to place, say, the honeycombs into the bee slots, which would be pretty silly. So I'm going to place down my filters, and oh look, they're facing the right way. And I did some testing with that, and it seems that when applied to bees, red power devices don't care about the species. All they look at is if it's a drone or a princess. So that's all they can do. And I'm using these covers to separate the tubes here. And I'm getting poisoned again by my marshy bees, which I tried to inbreed to get their jungle trait to show up, but I only managed to make them all poisonous. Because when I got them, well, they had the jungle, some of them had jungle as a secondary trait, and yeah. Also covers are slightly annoying to place. So when I got them, some of them had the jungle trait, so I tried to breed them to keep that, but I didn't manage to do that. I couldn't do it. And I basically, instead I got only the worst from jungle bees, which is the poison. So I made an automated. So that's one of the main reasons why I automated milk. Which I did. I've got a huge tank up on my sky platform full of milk. And I get that from a MineFactory reloaded rancher that's just activating on my cows that I use for breeding. And this queen's nearly dead. And of course it's not going to work yet because these sorting machines are going to need energy, which is also going to be a slight problem. I think I may end up just throwing down some solar panels on the roof and call it a day, because tiny spoilers ahead, I'll try to do a quite insane system to transfer the power using batteries, but it doesn't work that well. So just made a jump cut to when all the piping's placed, and yeah, actually I can see them coming, so maybe I should announce them. Now I'm going to use restriction tubes, which items will not travel through unless there's no other way. Excuse me. And this will basically make sure that any bees that don't fit in, as well as their produce, are going to go somewhere else. And actually, let me put that underground. I'll be right back. Hello, jump cut. You coming? There we go. So I've also you can see my basement that I dug out a few episodes ago, and I'll need some ME cable here because I want the comms and other produce to go directly into my ME network, and I also want some facades to make it look sort of nice. And hey, look, I have just enough facades to do this. There we go. Let's just connect the tube here. And what should happen is that the bees, all the items that come in here are going to first try to go into the indexer, but only bees fit in there. So everything else is going to go down into the interface. And also move the restriction tubes to the bottom, of course. Like so. And let's close up that hole. I don't know why, because it's far from done yet. And there we go. And if you see me doing opening the menu and clicking somewhere off the screen, that's because I'm also connected to IRC, and sometimes my internet connection gets a bit derpy and disconnects for a split second, and I need to pause this commentary for a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I cut out a few minutes of me just running around doing random things and rambling because I don't know what I was rambling about. So I've inserted a few relays down here because I remembered that actually these restriction tubes I was using still did cause a cross connection between the different apiary systems, and these relays don't. Also, I am quite aggravated at Movie Maker because this is the 4th time that I'm recording this part of the commentary, and it's just been, the first time didn't record at all. Oh no, the first time I had to interrupt it, so it was crappy and I had to throw it away. The second time nothing was recorded at all. The third time the first 8 minutes weren't recorded at all, and I have no idea why. So yeah, I had to cut that part out as well. And that's really annoying. So anyway, let's close that back up, and I'll need some energy for these sorting machines, so I'll have to go do something about that. But first let's close this up and clean our inventory, and yeah, we should be alright. I'll just go over there and I'll meet you there. Come on. And yeah, here I am. As I said, these sorting machines will need some energy, so I'm going to get that from over here, since I've got a quite massive power production. And wait a moment, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just went to close my door. Also, I just checked, and what I just recorded has indeed been recorded, and there is sound. Okay, so I already taught my ME system how to make the empty batteries, and as you can see, they are a different item than the full ones. So apparently the 5273 ID is for the full batteries, and the empty batteries are 5272. So that's good to know, because them being different items makes things much easier. But they do appear to switch as soon as you throw them in there, and they don't completely lose their damage value, they only go down to 1 instead of 0. Okay, so that's good to know. I'll also need I'll try to use routers for this, because they're kind of predestined for accessing large arrays of machines all at once. Well, at least if I manage to make it work, and I'm really glad I automated dark iron, it's really quite useful. So I'll just, I'll need, of course I didn't grab enough of the dark iron. And let's grab some more, and let's go over to the chicken farm that I built, which is really simple. It's just a pen with chickens in it that glitch into transposers. When the chickens lay eggs, the transposers pick up the eggs and send it into an interface, and the eggs are exported into this dispenser, which is on a timer that fires them out regularly, but I've got that turned off for now because of reasons like this. And I just made the routers with a quick jump cut, and I need to access the top side, so that's good already. But oh crap, there's a problem. It might be that one router inserts an empty battery and the other one pulls out that same empty battery immediately. I don't want that to happen, so I would need item filters. However, making these requires infrastructure that I haven't set up yet. Factorization infrastructure. I've done none of that yet, so I will have to make some of that at some point. But yeah, I can put batteries in the bottom slot, but not if the battery box is full, of course, so I'll just get another empty battery, fill it up, and there we go, it's full. And so I'll have to do something else, and I think that I'm going to use retrievers also from Red Power. So because these routers have the problem that I just explained, and with retrievers I can avoid having that problem. They are crafted like so. I'll make one and I'll be right back. There I go. I've also had to move these battery boxes because I need to access their top side, and that doesn't work, and I can't do that if they are stacked vertically, so I had to move them over like so. And one thing that I found out is that battery boxes seem to retain their charge when broken, so I might actually use that instead, because I'm pretty sure that they do have Buildcraft gate conditionals, so I might be able to figure out something using those, but I'll have to do that off camera between this episode and next. Okay, I'll also need a restriction tube to make sure that no crap gets artificially shoved into the retriever. That's something that you should always do when working with retrievers. Put a restriction tube in front of them, because it doesn't affect the retriever, but it prevents other machines from shoving things into the retriever, which you don't really want to happen. Basically what you want is the path to the retriever to always be the longest path that exists. And since restriction tubes act as if they're, of course I'm one block off, and since restriction tubes act as if they were 5,000 blocks long, well, that's a really good way to achieve that. So here we go. Let's place down a retriever. Make sure What the? Oh no, I just thought my microphone was off. It's not. And you could hear it really well, and it was quite annoying. And then the time before, well, my microphone was turned off. So it turns out I don't have enough tubes, I'll need some more. And we are going on vacation. We are leaving on Saturday, and I'll be gone for 2 weeks. I'll be back on August 18th. So there won't be any videos in that time. However, I should probably have time to make more once I'm back. And I know, contrary to what I promised, I didn't really make many videos in the last 2 weeks, because, well, I actually chose to work on my mods instead, which you should really check out, by the way. I think Golem World's pretty cool, and Tough Lamps, well, it's sort of a joke mod. I basically heard Vex say he'd like that, and I made it, and that's the whole story. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Vex is a YouTuber who and map maker who created the Super Hostile series of maps, which are basically maps that try to kill you in the most horrible ways possible. And in one of the episodes of his developer commentary of one of these maps, he said he wished for a form of glowstone or some form of lighting that couldn't be blown up, so that's what I made. I basically made a mod that just added an unexplodable light. Yes, that's a word. And the retriever needs redstone power, which I wasn't quite aware of. But here we go, it's pulling out the full batteries. And boom, there should now be a full battery in our AE system, sorry. And yeah. Excuse me, I know that sort of dead silence is awkward. I just don't know what to talk about, because I don't really know what I was saying at the moment of recording this, because, well, there was no sound, which is the whole problem. So basically what's going to happen is the relay is going to send the batteries into the closest battery box, and the retriever is going to pull them out. And oh, that lever was turned off. That's why the lava wasn't working, I suppose. And it seems like there's another lava thing stuck there. But now it's unstuck, so it's alright. Yeah, these cows now. Basically, the reason I have cows everywhere is that this spawner there actually has a bigger radius than the enclosure I've made for it, so sometimes these cows spawn outside. And then they just start wandering around, and sometimes they step on the tripwire there and pull out my soul shards. I can usually catch that in time, but I've had 2 or 3 soul shards despawn already. And since I've got it set up so that it always pulls out the most filled soul shard for cows, it's quite annoying, because I've lost these once or twice already. But yep, I'm about to make a jump cut, because I've now set up a sort of automated system for this. And IRC is bugging me. Shut up, IRC. Basically, this brass encased wooden thing there is an item detector, and when an item passes through, it's going to emit a redstone signal. And the repeater there a moment later is going to, well, do what the repeater does and pass on the signal, which will then activate the retriever. So basically what's supposed to happen is the item gets thrown out through the relay. And that's the recipe for the item detector. That was the recipe. So basically the item is going to travel through the detector, emitting a redstone pulse. Then it's going to go into the battery, into some battery box, get charged, and then the repeater is supposed to activate the retriever, which is going to pull the filled battery out. So that'll hopefully work. So we'll just try to request a full battery. Okay, let's go. I bet there's some other way to do this, and of course my item detector was turned around, so let's just flip it to the correct orientation, and my screwdriver just broke. So I'll need a stick and an iron ingot to make a new one. I'm not really bothering with a sonic screwdriver quite yet because, well, it's also the same reason that I'm using a pick. I just don't want to have to deal with the hassle of powering stuff, and they last long enough as it is. So it's not really a problem. And I mean, this pick I'm using, it's pretty fast, so it doesn't really matter. There we go, the battery went in there, it should now be charging. Indeed it is, it should now be full. And the repeater should then at some point send out a signal to the retriever. And there we go. Of course it doesn't work now because, well, it was somehow off, but let's just make sure that there's a regular battery here and request a full one. The battery travels through the tubes into the first battery box, gets filled, and at some point, and the repeater is still waiting, and now it's gone pulled out. And it's going to go through the retriever back into the ME network. Perfect. So that's working now. Okay. So let's just go over to the B room and set up the converse infrastructure over there. I'm pretty sure that's the right word. Should be. And basically that one is going to just continuously have full batteries exported into it, and then going to send empty ones back into the system. So that'll work. So let's just place down a battery box or two, and maybe not right there so they don't connect with the tubes, or maybe back there close to the sorting machines. That seems like a good idea. Not over there, not really. I think I'll just plop them down over here, but then I'll need tubes on top, won't I? Yeah. Problem there. Okay, let me figure this out, and we'll see. Okay, I was probably rambling here, but I don't know about what I was rambling, since, well, I can't hear it. So, something, and let's fly back up and run out, and I don't know why really. This is why I don't like doing the commentary afterwards, because I don't know what I was saying, and sometimes I'll just stand there and ramble, and then later I have to fill in the blanks with something, but I don't know what. So I'll just set this up and I'll be right back, and here I am. and let's just set this export bus to export or craft a single full battery. It's going to go into the relay. That happened. Let's throw in some more batteries. There we go. First battery starts to pile up. I do want to have a backlog of batteries, and the retriever should only retrieve the empty batteries. And I've had to move this, and of course this is not working because even though it looks nice and all with the battery box sunk into the floor, well, it doesn't work because guess what? If I want to empty a battery, it has to go into the bottom. Yay, awesome! So let's just fill this back in and put the battery boxes on top, like so. And shift click is our friend, and we can just have the retriever send the full batteries back up there. However, I do need to separate it from the battery box, because otherwise it'll pull out the empty battery and just send it back in to be filled back up, which isn't exactly the point. So let's close that, and that to the right there's a transposer that makes sure that items can't go back to the B setup. And yay, the battery boxes have started to fill up. Okay, let's see why this isn't working. Oh, well, it seems to be working. And of course I can't place the timer on the battery box, because why would I be able to do that? So let us get a block, if I can type, and place the timer on top of that. Like so, and of course I can't place it if I'm there, same as with repeaters. I'm pretty sure that these have the same hitbox as repeaters, that's what it looks like at least, and yes, the batteries are going the right way. But why are they going up? There's only an index in there, they can't fit in there. Or can they? No, they can't. Man, Benny, fix your mod. Fix your indexer. Benny is the maker of Extra Bees, where this block is from. And basically what the problem is here, if you're making an inventory as a modder, you get to whenever automation tries to insert an item into your block, into your inventory, it'll have to call a function that tells it if the item is allowed to fit in there or not. And by default, usually if you're just making a chest or a relay or whatever, you just tell it, no matter what item that is, it's okay, it can fit in here. But this is supposed to be specialized storage, so that's not really supposed to be the case. So I don't know why that was left in. And let's bump up this timer, it doesn't need to be quite as fast. And let's get a lever to turn it off. Because I like to be able to turn off my timers, because I've heard that timers can create serious lag if they are just constantly running. And apparently I can't turn it off from this face, so we'll have to do it like so. I wanted to try and avoid powering the battery box, because I thought I might power the transposer if I do that. Though that shouldn't really happen, because if I can't place it on the battery box, then it should also not transmit redstone power. And that shouldn't be an issue. So now I've placed a filter over there with a drone and a princess in it, so that only bees can fit through there, and everything else is going to go into the interface down there. And yeah, the timer's working, but these battery boxes aren't full yet. But they aren't getting filled. What's happening? That doesn't look very good. Let's investigate. The relay is not getting filled with any batteries. Okay, that must mean that no batteries are being produced. Well, apparently I haven't noticed that yet when recording. So I'll just blindly link up the energy. Okay. Yeah, let's just get some more cables. And come on, craft. Yeah, it's really nice that Applied Energistics understands recipes that involve a tool like the handsaw that gets damaged in the process. It's really nice that they involve that, understand that. Man, this is a mess of cabling. But we can do this. There we go, all connected. Let's just get some hollow culvers. I really do like those, they look neat. And I just set this up, and actually I'm back at my power producing station, and I'm trying to find out why this isn't working. And apparently I have a bunch of almost empty or half filled batteries in my system. And I can already see why. This battery box right there is empty. Why? Because it's the only one that's charging the batteries, and it's being discharged so fast, shut up IRC, that the other batteries that are trying to fill it back up can't really keep up. So that's what's happening there. Okay, I see. That's a slight problem. So okay, I get what was happening there. I'm not really sure how to fix it though. Okay, let's see just how long. Okay. So I don't know. Buildcraft pipes, if there was some sort of retriever for Buildcraft pipes, I would have preferred those indeed. But there isn't, which is a problem. Now let me think about this for a moment. Technically, I suppose I might be able to use emerald pipes or something that'll only pulse themselves. Oh yes, I do think that Buildcraft matches the damage value exactly. So that should actually work. Basically meaning that if I use Buildcraft for that, in this case emerald pipes, it just might work. Because I'm pretty sure that using gates, I can tell those to only pull out while there's a full battery in there. So that might work. And then I'd have to use a crap load of diamond pipes to make sure that the full batteries go the right way. Though I could do that, I have no shortage of diamonds. Actually, yeah, I'm going to try that out after the episode. So, yeah, anyway, I've now finally hooked up some amount of power over here. So there's some energy here. But it still wasn't working, so I did some tests. And it turns out that you can't pull out from the bottom of an apiary. You have to do it from the side. So I'm going to have to flip over these filters and sorting machines, which I have already done, but off camera. And remember, I'm doing this commentary a few days, actually a week after recording this. So yeah, do keep that in mind. So that's why I'm saying simultaneously that I'm going to have to do that in the context of the time of the recording, and I've already done it at the time of me doing this commentary. So yeah, off camera I'll do all these fixes that I've discussed. Let me just see if so yeah, I'll fix that. Next episode I think I'll finish this up and make a bee processing facility to make sure all these products get processed. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next episode, and until then, take it easy.